Distance 8, angle 15 degrees, so it's about good. We'll do it over 2 seconds, and so now the rotation is really dependent on where the location is. So if we go back and look at this, the Z-lot is here. Okay, so let me talk about rotation for a second. So 0 is actually this way, and it goes counterclockwise. So 90 is actually down here, this is 180, and this is 270. So if we want to face them from this direction, we're going to have to do 270. So let's go back to our triggers and set this to 270. Okay, and then we want some text to pop up. You can do that by doing create a dialog item label. Again, we use our dialog variable. Dimensions, this is going to be pretty big, so 400, 600, and we're going to, instead of doing top left, we're going to do top right. And offset, we're going to change this to 60. I already mentioned why, this much at least. Okay. I think this should be about right. Now here's the tricky part. The text. What are we going to do? So let's say there's a passive. And I'm going to use arcade boss bar fight. Bar title. Wow. Okay. You can see it right there. And then for this part, I'm going to use battle chat. I think that's what it's called. So, and here we'll say gives nearby heroes and increase in speed, and that we can probably patch. So let's see. So it looks like that. So the text should look pretty nice, and the zoom should be fine, I believe. So we're just gonna copy this and paste it 5 more times, then just change this to different values. Then we need to change it. Instead of Z-lot, it should be Marine. Instead of that should be Server, Templar, and Ghost. Everything else is fine. We want to change the angle, so let's look at where the Marine is stationed. So Marine is there, so that's 180, and Zergling is about, say, 110. 180, 110. This is about 45, and this is negative 45. Okay. Oops, wrong one. So 35 and negative 45. If you go to negative, it goes counter clockwise. So that should do the zooming and the dialogue. And we should see that number pop up when we hit select. So hit select. There's a passive. It says gives nearby heroes increased speed. They're both applied to it, and there's a 1. So I hit this, it shifts there, and there, and there, and there. So that looks all good. So we're almost done. Let's try to fix this, and I also want to show you something that usually happens. So that's good enough. The thing I wanted to mention is you can't copy this text. Don't ask me why, it's actually a bug, but this actually gets completely corrupted when you do a copy and paste. I don't know why they made it like that, but it does. Also one note, you couldn't tell there, but we are not destroying the dialog that's created. So what happens if they click on this one and then they click another one, these two dialogues are going to overlap. And the reason you can't tell is because the dialogues are both the same. But if I change it to, I don't know, attack speed, for instance, here, and we run it again, we're going to actually see that there's an overlap. You can see right there. So what we need to do is destroy the previous one. So that means that we need to save the one we were working with. And so first thing we want to do is create a variable. Okay, oops. Control W, the wrong one. Variable. I'm going to call this dialog previous selected. I don't like to abbreviate. It gets confusing after a while once you have a lot of variables. So that's a dialog item. And well, we know we have to do something to it first, which is destroy it. So destroy dialog item, and here we need previous selected. So next time another select is occurred, it'll be destroyed. And we're just going to delete this. We know it works now. And we need to set it in each one. So let's do set variable. Actually, you know what? We don't have to do it here. We can just do it at the end. Because the switch statement is using a variable here selected, which will be a value, and that will tell us what that is. So we just actually can do it without setting that. So do heroes previously selected, apparently blind, and then we set it to our variable. Oh, haha, oop. See daisy. This should be. It's baking out. Last created dialog, because there's a switch statement and only one of these will occur. So whichever occurs, it really doesn't matter because it's going to be the last created one. Okay, that's good. And now we have it destroyed, and we can just quickly check this, see if it works. So here, and then if we do this, you can see it just changed the text. Boom, boom, and now we got our camera moving, and it looks all nice. And you might want to shift this a little more to the right, but otherwise it would be fine. Yeah, it's not important really. Just want to show you how this works. Oh, it's there, and now we need to do the confirm button. And there's a creation when you do a confirm button. Okay. Hey guys, so I took a little break, but I changed a few things. Nothing major. I just moved this to the right and shifted it as I mentioned. Also, I believe what this is doing, I thought it would be 200 from the upper left, but it also takes into account dimensions of this already. So this offset isn't 200 just pixels to the left. It's this plus this, so it's actually 600. I'm not exactly sure why they did this, but yeah, it's not a standard convention. Yeah, in most applications, the offset is from 0 and not from the size of the dialog. So, just something to note. Also, I just made these two I just filled some text with these two. I'm going to show you how that looks right now. Just want to show you how what it can look like. So again, if you do select, you can see it looks much nicer. And for Ultimate, I did a purple color. So if you're wondering what I used here, I used arcade boss title, and then for the purple I just used battle chat prefix, and then for this I just used battle chat. So it looks nice, and if you look, I just did it for these two, but I just want to show you how it looks. So we have our hero here, and then we have the text on the side, and then so okay, so that looks nice, and so let's work on the confirm. And so that means we're making a new dialog. So we do dialog trigger. Sorry, wow, I'm messing up. So let's say confirm hero. Let me space that. So this is our new trigger. It's going to be like the last trigger. And this condition is actually the opposite of the last one. Yeah, actually, I think we can just copy the condition. Cool, and then we just change this to equal sign. So, if it is a confirm box, what are we going to do? Now, we could do a switch statement and figure out, do a switch statement, decide, okay, third one was picked, and then, for each one have a case where we create a hero for it. But we can actually do a slightly different way. I think it's better. What we do first is we create a variable, and this variable wouldn't really be in here, it would be in some other folder. Again, I did Control W. So new variable, and this variable we're going to call heroes. So this will actually hold all our heroes. It's going to be an array, and we're going to set it to how many heroes we have, which is 5, and we're going to do here a unit type. Okay? And then in our mainly here, we're going to set it. So here, and then here we're just 0, and our dude, so we can do Dialog. Just copy this 5 times. And circling is actually the hardest one because it gives you so many choices. It's changelings. Okay, that's the normal thing. Oh, we want to set the scan at 1. Because we're going to save the selection and it's going to be from 1 to 5. So, and it's one thing we forgot to do. I'm going to do that next. So, we can use this variable. So we're going to go back to here, and what we want to do is we need to set a variable for that player. So when he selects a hero, we want to save what he selected. So that when he hits to confirm, we know which hero to create at the region and so forth. So what we're going to do first is go back to our variables. Again, it's Control W. Oh, there we go. Found the wrong one. Dialog. Player choice. And here, and integer is fine, yeah. And we're going to set this to 14, which is the maximum amount of players in the game. And then here, you can do a variable, set variable for our variable that we just created. And this is triggering player, like I mentioned, it returns an int. And then we set this to the number. So this will be 1. Should copy and paste. That's 2. Like I mentioned, this is pretty straightforward. Okay, now we have that. So once it's select, we'll give him the info, but in reality it's going to save that information so we know which one he clicked on. And if he clicks on a different one, you're just going to replace that value. And once we confirm, we know which one to look at. And now, because we also set up the variables, we just need to do one line just to create. So we're just going to do Control W, and we're going to use, I believe it's called create unit. I'm not really sure about this. Yeah, create unit facing a certain angle. What angle is going to be up to you. We also need a region, an area. So what we're going to do is go back to our map, and we're just going to pick a region somewhere randomly. So right here, that's good. This time it's going to do a square. And we're going to rename this region to